what's up everyone? Today we have a Husqvarna HU725FH. Apparently it's 7.25 foot-pounds of torque, Briggs & Stratton, on a self-propelled body that apparently just doesn't run. Okay, so let me explain this. In, I want to say May or June, I think June, I purchased a new camera because my other one, the sound completely stopped working. Even though it wasn't good to begin with, I found that to be an opportunity to upgrade and get new cameras and mics. Having said that, I got this the first weekend of April, and I didn't really do anything because I'm busy. It's April, it's springtime, everyone needs something. The problem was, eventually when I did get to it, I noticed that this whole piece right here, for like the notches for the height adjustment was bad, and the bearing had completely, the seal is completely gone. The ball bearing, well, it's not a seal, it's pretty much just there to hold it together, but the ball bearings, there's like 2 of them left, and when I put it on the table, those 2 decided to go who knows where, and here we are. I then purchased this piece as a whole because this side's fine. I took off the gears. I mean, it's a little dirty, but you know, dirty is not going to stop anything from running, not entirely at least. So I purchased this, I think it was on Jack's Small Engines, whatever, or e-replacement. I think it was Jack's. Well, I ordered this the weekend I filed my taxes. Now, I didn't file extensions, so any of you CPAs out there know that I technically was, well, this year I have until May, but that's not the point. I ordered it in the middle of April. It is now the weekend of Halloween. It took over 6 months to get here. Every time I inquired about it, they said that the Husqvarna had a supply shortage. Gonna take some more time. Every time was 6 more weeks. 6 more weeks. I'd wait 8 weeks. I ask again, 6 more weeks. Not saying anything bad about them, because no matter what website I went to, it was all back ordered. Every single one. So it wasn't the fact that this website was having a problem. If I went to any of them, unless they already had it, which it was really hard to find one that already had it because it's such an obscure part, I'm sure. It just was going to take forever. My annoying story aside, it's now time we are going to do this. I originally had gotten to a point where I was even going to make this, but now we're not going to worry about it. Since it's been so long, I've lost the nuts and washers, so I'm going to put these on there and get some washers, and then we will go ahead and get this installed, put the wheels back on. We will even see if this engine can run, because I have other engines, but this deck is nice. I also have a bag that doesn't appear to be rust, so I'm happy about that. So first things first, we have a washer. Put that with the other washer. It just goes in. There's 2 holes, and then that. Actually, let me clean that post up real quick. If you're ever at a loss what to do with old gasoline, using it to clean stuff like this, as long as it's not oily, well, I guess technically, I mean, oil wouldn't be the most horrible thing in the world that could happen to this, but old gasoline is a great cleaner, which is what I'm using here. As long as it's not super old, but like a year or 2 aged, should be fine. It's a good vintage for this type of thing. So let's go ahead and put this where it should be, well, where the other one is. There we have it. So on the other end of those studs, I'm just going to put a washer and a nut, and then crank it down, and that should be enough to hold it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's dark underneath there are spiders. Yeah, you don't want to see that. Okay, This, in fact, let's just turn it. Oh, there. There's a little hole for this pin. This locks into the gear. At least that's how it's supposed to work. Everything is better with just a little bit of force. Okay, I'm gonna tap that into place real quick. So there's just a whole lot of pushing and whatnot that went through there, but basically that rod goes through. There's a little cutout in this gear. The gear goes on there. Clip holds on the gear. I did the same thing to the other side, and now we move and we are nice and smooth. So I'm going to put the wheels back on, and we're going to set you up in the corner and probably dump some fuel down the throat of the carb, and yeah, we'll see if this works. And the annoyances continue with this machine. I was putting the wheels on and I noticed that the cover to protect the inner gears from dust and debris was not included. I do not remember. I mean, I didn't take off the wheels. It literally came to me like this. Well, that one did. I don't remember about that one. I have a feeling that I just didn't notice it was gone. But I don't know. I have a feeling though that's a generic part. I'm hoping that like a Craftsman, is the spark plug boot, there it is, will suffice. I mean, that's basically what this is. It's just a Craftsman with a orange deck, and apparently one specific part, and that is the one that took forever for me to get. I never even pulled it. Let's see if, or checked oil. If I did, it's been so long I don't remember. There's oil. Too much oil. It doesn't smell like gasoline, so that's good. Well, at least there's oil. Too much is better than not enough. Yeah. There's compression. Where? I'll just use this. Hopefully it starts and dies. So I showed this like 1,000 times, but it's not usually normal. It's also not usually normal. It's like Loctite or something in them. This doesn't even have fuel. Yes, it does. Does it smell bad? Yes, it does. Okay. Well, at least we know that. I don't know why it doesn't run. On the top right here is a 1/4 inch that you should never ever use any type of power tool on. I mean, you know me, I like to use power tools for things that I probably shouldn't, but even I don't like using it there. So keep that in mind when doing said things. Since there is fuel in there, we're going to need to kind of pinch this off. Let's do so now before we forget and it becomes a problem. And let's go ahead, before we take off that final 3/8, take off that fuel clamp, or fuel line clamp. Remember, when you start off with hoses like this, or lines, or anything, twist it and then walk it off. Doing so will lessen the likelihood of you damaging a good line, because it's kind of doing what you want it to do. It's keeping a good seal. And just because it's on there nice and snugly doesn't mean that it's also bad. It just means that it was doing its job. And it's one of those overachievers. You know the type. Maybe you're one of them. I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to clean this off real quick, because as you can tell, it's pretty nasty. And then we'll get to work on it. I just realized I never explained the purpose why I told you about my camera. The reason why I don't have footage of it is because it was on my old camera. Of me receiving it and finding the issues and ordering the parts. So that fuel is not good. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time now and drain it out, and then we will put some good fuel in there. Okay, now that it's drained, I did a video on clone carbs, and at least on Briggs and Stratton, are they worth it? And if so, like, are you really gonna get something that's worth the money you're spending on it? And if so, how much was it? Well, this was a $7 carb, and oddly enough, it is doing, in my opinion, just fine. So, because it's doing just fine, we're going to use it for this one. So I think I bought like 4 or 5 of them after I made that video, because it does save a whole lot of time. And I would have to put a new bowl gasket in there. I'd have to probably put a new seat in there. The time, the effort. Granted, my time is, I don't want to say free, but it's I don't charge for my time as another, both shop or other people would, I'm sure. So there's that as well. But you know what? It's also Wednesday. It's my day off. It's nasty outside. I kind of want to go inside and take care of a few other items throughout the day as well. So this is going to allow me to have a little more time to do so. Choke is now working effectively. We're going to put this, ooh, no we're not. We need a new gasket. The gasket that came on the old machine stayed on the old carb, or on the old carb, stayed on the old carb. It's not the old machine. But even then, when I was cleaning it off, it kind of disintegrated to begin with. So I just put it on right there. These, while important, don't get me wrong, they're not as critically important that they seal 100% perfect. I mean, yes, you don't want to have air sneaking by the air filter, but at the same time, if there is a minuscule amount of air sneaking by the gasket and the air filter cover or plate here. I don't think a lot of dust is going to be doing that because it's going to be pretty small. Remember, there was Loctite on it, but I didn't clean it. So it's not like I'm cranking down all the way. It's just there's a little goo on the threads. There we go. That one didn't. Well, that one also just goes through a bunch of thin steel. So we know we have a good carb. I need to fill it with fuel. I'm going to put the top on. We'll put you back up there and we'll see what's going to happen. The air filter on this was almost perfect. The plug looks like it's brand new. So I think this person had a starting problem and they thought air filter and plug was going to fix it, and it did not. Now it's here. So if this does run, I'm going to get the bag, get a pressure wash, change the oil, sharpen the blade, get the little covers for the inside to protect the new or the wheels, and we'll see what's happening. Ugh, it is disgusting outside. And there you have it. It looks to be pretty good. Carb seems to be doing fine. It doesn't surge. I mean, it did take one time to turn on, or one pull and before it would turn on, but you know what? I'm fine with that. I am. I have no issues with that one at all. 2 pulls, not that big of an issue for me, especially since the next time it might be different. Who knows? And it's cold. It's very cold. It's been sitting outside for a while. So yeah, I'm gonna look up and see if the Craftsman equivalent to the covers for this is gonna be appropriate. And then other than that, I'm gonna do what I said, the full maintenance, and good to go. So because it is on the other video, I can't really show it to you very well, unfortunately. So that's my bad. But the reason why I even started doing this process was because of that cover. Now that cover, or excuse me, that bearing and everything that holds the wheel on, that is important. I'm just taking off the old plastic piece, by the way, because when I got it, it was not only off, but when I put it back on to test it out, it was angled, and whenever you did anything, it would always just kind of like shake and move, and then the ball bearings fell out, so it was not going to be rolling. So if you're having an issue with the wheel sinking a lot and the deck isn't bent out or anything of the sort, then the likelihood that you're just needing this piece is pretty high. So keep that in mind. It's not always just maybe the bolt is broken or the wheel's bad or something. Just take a look at this whole arm. So hopefully this helped you out. Definitely subscribe. Catch me in the next video. Have a good day. And while I haven't ordered, or I have ordered them, but while I don't have them yet, oddly enough, I found the Husqvarna ones that were $11 for both. It says they're genuine, and it's coming from eReplacementParts.com. Well, technically they're like $5 something each, so $11. And I think shipping is like $1 or something. I don't know. So let's say $12, $14 for both of them. That's not bad. I believe that piece was also $14. So there's $28. I have 7 into the carb. That's $35. I didn't pay anything for this. So technically I'm $28. Let's say 30 because I do have to put oil and everything into it. $30. This is easily $120-$40 lawnmower, probably 40. Probably not now though, because it is, like I said, the weekend of Halloween. So yeah, but people still do need them. Where I live, the grass is still growing a little bit, so it's going to be required for about a month now. And this is a good leaf picking tool or mulching tool, so there's also that. Okay, so I just want to jump in and explain what I got. Other than that, this is a complete machine. So have a good evening. Bye.